big question, and I'm drawing a blank. Wait, why can't I move?
Nothing a little spit couldn't fix.
Nothing a little spit can fix.
Nothing a little spit couldn't fix. Can't we just hang out here?
Hey, Uzume. So, on your wrist, that's a visual radio, right? Whoa, I'm really surprised you knew that. Check it out. Isn't it skeleton body awesome? Yeah, it's such a great piece, really stylish. I think it goes with your look super well. Hold up, Gearsy. How do you know about these? Oh, visual radios were popular in our nation about a decade ago. Although they stopped manufacturing them a while ago, and I've only seen pictures, this is my first time seeing one up close. Huh. Never would have guessed you had these in your nation too. Is it to say that you're some kind of gearhead? Like, you're into machines and tech and stuff? Goodness, yes. Machines and tech are my life. Your life, jeez, Gearsy. You must be really into it. Here, I'll let you borrow this for a while. Really, you don't have to. Are you sure? Well, just don't break it, okay? This is a small treasure of mine, so I usually never let anyone else touch it, but you seem to understand its true value. Here you go. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. You can back up your save data on this and play minigames too, right? Oh, that's not all. True to its name, you can use the radio function to listen to shortwave or even use it as a walkie-talkie. Also, if you connect to a terminal using a cable, you can even go to on the internet. It's a pretty sweet piece of gear. Pretty good, Zelos. Funny Goddess is based on the console. It's funny you say that because I recently seen a picture of the Nintendo Switch, and then under the Nintendo Switch, it has blonde in the middle for the screen, and then the Switch had red and blue Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Cons are each ROM and RAM. That's why I like her design so much. The device on her arm is actually the portable part of the Dreamcast. And I like how when she goes into her HDD, she gets roller skates like in Jet Set Radio. Yes. Oh, Luz, you were saying you were having problems finding Neptune streamers, right? I don't really know any other Neptune streamers, but but IF, they stream on Twitch. Sometimes it's not even long. You want me to I'll link them in the chat. my Nightbot doesn't freaking, like, fucking block it. Hopefully it doesn't. Poor sisterless Bert. Original voice Seaman, which Umio was voiced off of. Yep. Zelos, who was... What's the character Seaman like? I'm kind of curious. I don't even know much about the... Umio's the fish, right? I haven't even used him in the party yet. Well, I have him in the Lily rank, but that's about it. Also, if you connect to the terminal using a cable, you can even go to the internet. It's a pretty sweet piece of gear. That's... When I heard him a little bit talk, he kind of reminds me of an angel-like character from an anime known as Love Tyrant. For most of the time, he took a body of a cat with a human-like face. That's so amazing, Uzume. Oh, how nice it would be to own one. Do you think we might find any around, maybe left behind by people? Well, I haven't found any before, but if I do, I'll let you know right away. Kind of like a little pet system, huh? These kind of things should be carried by people who understand its value.
Let's try going here.
I see, bruh. I see your type.
Full speed ahead. I'm injured? When did I scratch myself? You've got some guts to fight me. What should I do? My turn. I did it! Yay, we won! This doesn't even count as an injury.
I want to see if I can learn a little bit more about him by putting him in the party.
It is my turn.
What the?
How is this?
His voice is so deep, man!
Leave this to me.
So that person on the mic she was talking to.
I'm sorry.
I'm curious though, why they make him a DLC character then if he's already part of the story? Still have no idea how to fuck with that.
Like a kangaroo. Boing. Like a kangaroo.
Kinda like Histy.
I let my guard down? You do something? That's an attack?
Now then,
Also,
what shall I do?
Uzume says he's like the only one that can really fight in this area.
How is this?
What should I do? Later. Woohoo! You're my opponent? Ha!
What shall I do? There.
My turn!
Haha.
It's all over. I win! This is just a scratch. I'm getting fired up.
So Zelos, how you like? Well, it's not really nice to ask you to compare them, but
Later.
because I feel like I want to try the VIR after, like sometime after. Like when I beat this, I'm not gonna go straight into VIR. I'm gonna like play the side games. But I want to try it in like in a future playthrough.
Surprise attack and success. It's all over. Total victory. Level up. Yay! I leveled up.
Nice. A few months back, I got into the series myself. I started with the anime series.
To a bloody my turn. Once. It's my turn. Now, who to choose? You're so damn lame. Yeah.
know one thing about Uzume, in past games her microphone felt too loud. But in this game, it's good.
Let's all go now, everyone! I've been waiting! What should I do? Here I go! I'm sorry! Now, who to choose? That was pointless. Now, who to choose? Alright, defeated! Next! Order up! I win! Nothing a little spit couldn't fix. I'll be your personal opponent. What should I do? Later. I win.
My boy's embracing the net, bruh.
Boing. Like a kangaroo. Let's do our best, everyone. I've been waiting. One strike. What should I do? There.
Do you just have the PS4 or do you have the Vita also?
I did it. We won.
XSX. Xbox One X? Xbox Series X, ah. Yes, the 24th of January.
Yay! Successful surprise attack!
Did you pre-order from their website or can you pre-order it already for PS4? I mean PS5.
My turn. I did it! Yay, we won!
Hope you'll be enough to entertain
My
me.
turn!
Yeah, and Steam is not pre-orderable yet.
What should I do? This'll do it.
I see on their website they have a available pre-order.
Yay, we won! Here! Boing!
Let's go, one-on-one.
My turn! Easy peasy. I win!
What the heck? Goddamn.
Like a kangaroo! Boing!
Ooh, I think that's all of them. You're a better fighter than you let on, Nepsy. Heh. A skilled hawk hides its talons and whatnot. It's getting late, so let's go pick up Gearsy. Kakarot is still coming out with DLC to the game? Last time I played was the Xenoverse games and I got my ass kicked. It's pretty inconvenient to have to connect the internet using a wire through a public phone. Maybe I could build a few wireless devices and set them up around the city. Cool. Bardock's Goku's father, right? His birth dad? Ah. I wasn't sure because I was about to say brother and I'm like, no, wait, Radix is his brother. Pretty inconvenient to connect to the internet using a wire through a public phone. Maybe I can build a few wireless devices and set them up around the city. If only I had time. It's gonna take me a while to shift through the data, all this data I found. Let's see. Journal 11th, month 27th. 11th month, 27th day. The has been born at the month day. We gave the name to the newly born. Month day has learned a new ability. We decided to call this power first month 31st day. It's over. It's too powerful. Neither I nor can manage it. Huh. I guess that's all that was in this record. I wonder if it's directly related to the state of the ruin this nation's in. Need to go deeper. Hey, Nep Jr., where are you? We're going home soon. Oh, Neptune's calling. Maybe it's best that I tell Neptune and Uzume about this when I'm more certain about it. Oh, it's Umio! Hey! Were you able to find out about the crystal? Usume, yes. The legitimacy of the shared crystal has been verified. It's quite remarkable. I would never have imagined a shared crystal would be here. Now it's in my possession. I'll be heading back to you within the day. Who are you? Ah! Umio! Hey! Umio! That was bad, wasn't it? Nepsi, Gearsy, I need to head over to the nearby town to save Umio. Will you come with me? Do you seriously have to ask? Let's go!
Can't we just hang out here? This is just a scratch.
This is so cool. I mean, I know this area is like a new dungeon, like, at least for me. I don't know, something about this just feels too cool.
Umio should be around here somewhere.
Somewhere? He didn't tell you where he was? Hey! Umio! Give us a shout if you're here!
I wish our communication didn't get cut short. It'd be cool if we found someone who could point us in the right direction.
I'm not sure rescue missions are ever that convenient.
You never know. A mysterious bystander might have been accompanying Umio when he was attacked. Maybe they both escaped. Then, while they're wandering around looking for us, we'll just happen to run into them.
Talk about being an optimist, what?
We'll be totally surprised. We'll be totally surprised at the coincidence, and like both Uzume and her new pal totally won't be able to believe it, you know?
Orange Heart is spilling over. It's like a less violent version of Plutia when Plutia's personality spilling over to her outside HDD.
The coincidence, and like both Uzume and her new pal totally won't be able to believe it, you know? Then, just like that, they'll lead us to where Umio is, and we'll like beat up the meanie monsters that were bullying Umio. Umio's saved, and we'll find the share crystal, and we'll be totally super lucky like that. Oh.
So I see she's the glass half full type of girl, huh?
So, yeah, there's a
Much
small
respect
chance
to that.
someone will appear to show us the way, right?
Uzume, sorry, but what in the world was that thing you just turned into?
Oh, I think you're just imagining things.
No. I definitely was not. You just transformed into some kind of valley girl from the 90s or something. You were referring to yourself as Uzume in the third person, too.
You're hearing things. Or maybe there are monsters that can create illusions around here.
Someone actually came?
It's one of those weird monsters from the third Rebirth game.
Sweet! Nice timing, baby bug.
Huh? Nice timing?
Oh, just something concerning us. More importantly, you seem a little riled up. Is it about Umio?
Yes, you're correct. Umio got attacked by a monster. Oh, and it's awful. I'll show you the way, so let's hurry.
2? Just like I said, right?
I can't believe things turned out the way she imagined. Me too, but I'm having a harder time getting over that Valley Girl transformation. She seems like she's trying to hide it, but...
Hey! What are you guys doing? I'm gonna leave you behind!
It's like Neptune's giving off vibes as he wants to mess with her.
I'll show you the way! Please hurry! Whoa! Wait up!
Kind of like that bath situation.
Umio's in here?
True. But this is like one of the first clear vibe I get from her.
Yes! My friends and I were originally using this place as a house.
Damn, this is a nice ass place too.
We happened to find something that looked like a share crystal in the far back, so we asked Umio to check if it was real. But while that was happening, a monster we've never seen before suddenly appeared. I really hope Umio is okay.
Okay, I understand the situation. So, was that share crystal the real deal?
Yes, of course. Umio is holding on to it right now, so the monster won't destroy it.
We'd better hurry and save him.
Bro, what? You can get doggoos from a vending machine? Like, if I would have to describe why I love Neptunia games, the adventure just seems fun. And that's good enough reason for me.
It doesn't matter who you are. I'll fight to the fullest. All up.
Like, it's the adventure itself just seems fun. Then hell yeah, I'm down.
It's my turn. Ha! This'll do it. Here I go. Next.
I'll end this all.
It's like one of my top animes being a freaking harem anime too.
I'm not letting you out of this alive. You're 10 years too. Looks like we win this match. Do I look cooler now?
Heal, hell yeah.
I'm good to go. Don't worry.
Well, earlier I was talking about anime called To Love Ru, so I was thinking about that, so that's where that came out from. I love this new system for the combo. And the Rebirth games. I mean, from this to the Rebirth, like, this feels way, like, the moves itself feel more useful, to be honest.
They're coming from above. Watch out.
It's hard to get multiple hits on.
Give it your all. Thank you for it. Leave this to me.
never checked if Uzume uses strength or intelligence. By her character, I would think intelligence. I mean, strength.
Mirage dance! Yeah! I did it! Did everyone see how I did?
I can show you how cool I am when I'm fully healed, you know?
Where is it? So that I did not know. The original Neptunia used the AP system? Why people were so angry about it when the VIIR came out? I guess you don't really have to answer that. People are, like, when people get used to one thing, it's hard to.
Hope you'll be enough to entertain me.
I've been waiting! I'll be serious!
My turn.
Failed.
You're so damn lame.
Enemy acquired major damage. Major damage.
I did get the weapons DLC, but I'm kind of iffy on using. I know IF is like, they're way better on handling their DLCs, but I'm kind of still iffy on using them.
I'll be serious! There! Ha! Yay! We won!
Yo, I need to heal soon.
See, like one of the things, there's a sword that freaking gives 1,000. There's one thing I haven't seen in this game yet, and I know they're still in the game because that starting dungeon said it had hidden treasures in it. How does hidden treasures work in this game?
Sneaking up on us isn't fair.
Just a scratch.
What's inside? Here! Here! Surprise attack success! I'll be serious!
Warning.
This'll do it! Ha! Next!
Mission failed.
Think it counts, but it's been some time for me to play it. So you don't find them yourself, scouts find them. Okay.
Nip, 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 nip.
I'm thinking the scouting, like, what I'm thinking is the scouting system kind of works like Stella's system in the Rebirth games.
All right, I'm ready.
Stella's
My
dungeon.
turn. Buster. It's my turn. Over.
Just by putting him in one dungeon?
Now, who to choose? You're in the way! You were such a pain!
Acquired. Enemy acquired.
What should I do? Next, what should I do? Easy, total victory.
That's actually cool. It's got like more connection with the main dungeons.
I'm okay. I can keep going. What? So suddenly?
Enemy acquired.
Oh,
Enemy sighted.
what should I do? What should I do?
Getting a hidden dungeon from the scouting system sounds good.
Now, who to choose? Don't mess with me!
Damage
Yeah!
mission. Enemy acquired.
Fine. Buster. What should I do?
Now, who to choose? Don't underestimate me!
Leave it to me. I've been waiting. Easy, total victory.
Crap. Good to know. I love in Rebirth 3, thanks to one of the DLCs that like made the Stella's dungeon go extremely fast. I was using Stella's dungeon to get resources while I was doing different shit in Rebirth 3 in the game. So, Uzume, are you pretty well acquainted with this baby bug? Nepsy, we're more than just acquaintances. These little guys are my allies too. Baby bugs are the most common monsters in this world and live in herds in all sorts of places. They have a network between their herds too, so they often help me look for share crystals. In return, Miss Uzume protects us from the fiercest monsters. Wow, what a beautiful relationship. But you know, after looking at these baby bugs, I'm starting to feel a little hungry. Hungry? You eat baby bugs? Does everyone in your nation do that? I can't really think about eating them because in the last game, freaking children were turned into this type of monster. It's fucking horrible. Eek! Ew, no way. Of course not. Well, at least I've never eaten one myself, but I heard when you deep fry them in oil, they taste like fried shrimp. If you eat me, I wouldn't be delicious at all. Miss Uzume, please help! Save me! Eggplant now. Fried shrimp, huh? That does sound pretty appetizing. Hey, do you really taste like fried shrimp? Can I try a bite? Just a small one? Someone please save me! Does being super hungry make people delusional? Cause this baby bug is starting to look like a piece of fried shrimp. Hey. Same here. Hey, baby bug, can I call you fried shrimp? Fried shrimp? Oh. I love that. What an tasteful, appetizing nickname. Goodness, stop that, you two. She's scared. Can you see how badly she's shaking? Oh, my bad. I got kind of carried away there. You mean you won't eat me? We swear we won't eat you, CPU's honor. Please, baby bug, lead the way to Umunio.
Wonder what's inside.
Beam slicer, life fragment.
Sorry, could you heal me?
Goodness, I like it.
Now I have... I was about to say I wouldn't have a problem using meme weapons like a freaking ice popsicle stick.
It's our chance to attack together. I'll nip you all up. Leave this to me.
My turn.
Okay, this one looks special. But it's not labeled as a tough enemy.
Hey, I wasn't ready.
Targets confirmed.
Distract me.
Targets confirmed.
Who's your weak? What should I do?
Warning.
One strike. I'll be serious.
I'm a force of fury. Don't underestimate me. You were such a pain.
I've been waiting. It's my turn.
I'll end this all. Don't underestimate me. You were such a pain. How's that? Was it cool?
Guess I'll continue from here.
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp.
Oh, nephew, all up. I'll be serious. This'll do it. Look, I did it. Did everyone see how I did? I'm getting even stronger. Level up. I'm still fine, right? Oh, shoot! Whoa! I've been waiting! Buster! What should I do? Please begin. Now my turn.
You're so damn lame. Not
Oh,
bad.
nephew, all up! What should I do? Quick strike!
The pipes are tanky.
I messed up real bad. You're 10 years too. Looks like we win this match. Oh man, this is pathetic. just to entertain
My
me.
turn!
Exterior
Easy
mission
peasy.
failed.
Freaking one turn.
I'll nip you all up. Buster! It's all over. I win. Here, here, here. It's our chance to attack together. What should I do? I'll be serious.
I'll end this all. Don't underestimate me.
Whoa!
It's my turn.
Here I go! Yay! We won!
I did it. I leveled up.
So which one did I come from? One from back there. Guess I'll go through this one first. This place is so fucking huge.
Warning.
Buster! It's my turn!
I'm a force of fury.
Failed. Targets confirmed.
Ouch!
Targets confirmed.
Did I get hit?
Now, who to choose? Don't underestimate me. You were such a pain.
I'll be serious! Yes, this'll do it! Here I go! I'm sorry!
Failed.
Did everyone see how I did?
You've got some guts to fight me.
I'll nip you all up! I'll be serious! Quick strike! Quick! I did
My
it!
turn. I'm a force of fury. You're so damn lame.
What should I do? Easy! Woohoo! Sneaking up on us isn't
Targets
fair.
confirmed.
That's an
Targets
attack?
confirmed.
I'm fine. Dispatch. Give it your all.
Thanks for
Go
that.
for it. I'll be serious.
Damn.
Emergency.
Not
Mission
my turn.
failed.
You're in the way.
Mission failed.
I'm fine. Leave this
Finally found where I was supposed to go. But the safe spot's on the other side. I like how they didn't make this straightforward. I want to peek in here real quick. Oh, there's a public phone. Sorry, could you two wait here for a moment? What's up with that? It's not like we don't have public phones back home. So he's probably trying to get on the net. You need the public phone or an external terminal to access it from the outside after all. I'll just connect the end gear with this cable. There, that should do it. Thank goodness, it looks like I can connect to the city's management server from here. Security is about a decade old, too. Good. I'm in. Must have done. Good luck reading. Okay. Most of the data is broken. Oh, but what's this? Month. Day. Has been released from. Even though we were first, it's not looking good. In order to compete against, we'll be releasing. But the release is too late. We can't change this course of events. So, someone please save. This is all the data I found, but I wonder if the person who wrote this journal entry is the same person from before. Hey, Gearsy! What are you doing? Let's keep moving. Sorry, I'll be right there. Hell yeah, credits.
I'm okay. I can keep going.
Over here, over here! Miss Uzume's finally here! Whoa! We'll be safe now. Huh? Who are the other two? Yeah, who are they? Whoa! There's a bustling bushel of baby bugs. Amazing. Might be the first time I've seen so many baby bugs in one place. Looks like there are about 30 in all. Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Where's Umio? Umio distracted the monster, then escaped over that way. Please hurry and save him before he ended up being eaten. It's a whole bunch of baby bugs and doggoos in a freaking pile. You baby bugs are pretty tough to wait around here, even though it's so dangerous. Thank you all very much. Ah, suck. It's nothing. Please be careful. Some of those baddies look very strong. Bruh, if Neptune still thinks about eating them, oh my girl, come on. Remember what happened in the last game. Remember what happened in the Ultra Dimension. Those poor children got mutated into monsters. Also, another thing, I know this game's basically set in a Netpocalypse, but I feel like those kids being turned into freaking monsters from in the last game, just because they were doing experiments with the CPU memory, that was fucked up. The 7 Sages were pretty fucked up for doing that. Ah, no need to worry. I got these 2 super buff CPUs to help me out. That's right, with me and Netgear helping Uzume, those unruly monsters won't stand a chance. Yeah, please leave it to us. Anyway, baby bugs, that's the situation, so hide out in a safe place, and once it's all over, we'll call for you. Yikes, what's happening? There's so many monsters. So these are the punks that jumped Unmio. Kinda thought they would be more ripped. Ah well, they'll go down easy. Miss Uzume, can you really defeat them? I think you already know the answer to that one, baby bug. Nepsy, Gearsy, let's go!
Get ready!
Whoa. Very cool horse design.
It's my turn! Here I go!
I'll end this all. You're so damn lame.
Ouch!
I get it. I thought it was pretty hard to attack, but that bastard's got a physical barrier. Those wings are looking pretty suspicious. If I were to position myself in front and punch it, I might break them.
My turn!
So, attack from the front?
One strike!
I'll end this all. Not bad.
It's my turn! Prepare yourself! I've been waiting! Buster!
I'm a force of fury. Not
Leave
bad.
this to me! Here! Here I go! What should I do?
I could pop HDD, but I'm not sure.
Let's go!
Gotcha!
Alright, the enemy's barrier disappeared. Now it's time to strike back, everyone.
Dispatch!
Now, who to choose? You're not half bad.
What should I do? Here you go.
Thanks for that.
Bunch. Later. That was pretty tough.
First try, baby, let's go.
That should be the last of them.
I think you're right. Since there aren't any more monsters around, we should be able to look for Umio freely now.
Hey, what's up with this Umio guy anyway? He's always calling Uzume with that mega classy voice of his. He's probably so handsome.
Daddy is, Neptune, daddy is.
Umio, are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right. I apologize. I've caused you such unnecessary trouble.
I mean, he just said he must be so handsome. I mean, being handsome only involves your face, right? Not your body. You'd be like a handsome fish.
Oh, cut it out, Umio. I'm just glad you're here. I have some friends that want to meet you.
Friends that wish to meet me.
Nepsy, Gearsy, come over here. I have someone I want to introduce you to. Well, come on already. This is Umio.
What it do, bro?
What? A fish man? With a seriously stoic face?
The gap between his smooth voice and wild appearance is astounding.
I never tried it before, but can I explore dungeons as an Umio? Like if I play Umio as the leader, like in previous games?
So you are the people Uzume wished to introduce to me.
Freaking bet. I want to try that under the story sequence.
First, allow me to thank you for coming here to rescue me. I am eternally grateful.
Despite his fishy appearance, his voice is godly, and his lines are so refined and smooth.
Isn't he adorable?
Adorable?
Yeah! Don't you think he could be like a super adorable leisurely mascot character?
I could see that.
If he was made into a cell phone strap, Uzume totally thinks it would get popular. Neptunior, do you think he's adorable?
No, not in the slightest.
Uzume, you're doing it again.
Oh! So, yeah, that's what's up.
That being said, it is a first for me to see humans other than Uzume. I had come to believe they were all wiped out.
Whoever voiced this dude, he's killing it.
A first? Wiped out?
It looks as if these two young ladies have yet to comprehend the gravity of our situation.
So who voices Umio again?
Before it returns, let us move to a safer area. We can converse there.
Before it returns? What does that mean?
Oh, damn.
It would appear we were not quick enough in our exit. It must have caught wind of us and returned.
This guy is... It's the one we failed to finish off! Why is it here?
I can only guess, but perhaps it ran away from us and ended up here in the city.
Damn it! I'm so sorry, Umio. It was because of my negligence that this all happened.
There is no time for that now. The opponent is wounded. Uzume, can you finish this?
Of course!
And I'm gonna end our fated relationship here and now.
Okay, that's interesting, that part 2. The characters in the back don't get an EXP. So Hayami in Japanese. Sander Mobus. Holy shit. That's actually pretty cool to know. Freaking Uzume is actually Joker from Persona 5.
Just watch me, Umio. This time I'm gonna defeat that doggy.
It is my turn.
An AoE heal, that's awesome.
My turn. One strike. Spiral Dream.
I'll be serious.
Here I go.
Now then, what shall I do?
I've been waiting. One strike. So tired. Take responsibility.
What should I do?
There. One strike.
It is my turn. You won't escape. There.
What should I do? So tired.
Steven Stone and Pokemon Masters.
Leave this to me. Prepare yourself.
Now then, what shall I do?
Hey.
It is my turn. I'll leave it to you.
Needless to say, the dude does a lot of video game shit. Holy shit.
It's Uzume's turn. Whoa! I'll be serious. One strike.
It is my turn. I'll leave it to you.
I've been waiting. It's Uzume's turn. Whoa! It's my turn. Prepare yourself.
Now then, what shall I do?
I'll nip you all up. Spiral Dream. Leave this to me. Please stay down.
It is my turn. I've got you.
My turn. Spiral Dream. I'll be serious. I did it. See, I can do it if I try.
Freaking wailed on it. Another thing I want to mention. I love the new the boss health bar.
Level up. Yay! I leveled up. I think I saw this level up in a dream.
I feel strength overflowing.
Yippee! We won! An amazing victory! It was a super easy victory thanks to you two being here.
That giant and I can finally duke it out without being bothered by that stupid mutt.
Now the real reason why we won, we had Umio.
Thank you so much, Miss Uzume.
We didn't know what we'd do when it appeared.
How could we ever thank you all?
Hey, it's no big deal. You guys found a share crystal for me after all.
Uzume, here. This is what the baby bugs discovered.
Thanks, everyone.
Let us return for now. I'm sure you're all tired.
Okay.
It might be kind of nice if you healed me soon, maybe.
Let's do our best.
I let my guard down? Ugh! Not
It is
bad.
my turn. I'll leave.
My turn.
I'm good. I'm not gonna die. I just wanted to peek a little bit at, like, walk around a little bit as Umio.
I won't back down. Mirage dance. Yeah. Yay! I got.
Did everyone see how I did?
world, you know?
I choose you!
Let's celebrate Umio's rescue, everyone! Cheers! Cheers! Oh crap, my controller disconnected again. Cheers is what I wish to say, but why is this a roasted fish party? Well, this is the only food I had on hand. Man, I'm glad I fished up so much for a reserve supply. I understand what you were saying, and I also understand that fish is the most abundant nutritional resource in the area. But for me, this is basically cannibalism. And this is freshwater fish at that. Oh, yeah, right. Ah, man, I'm so sorry, Umio. Don't fret, Umio. Uzume hears ya. I'll get you some krill in a little bit. Krill? Well, perhaps I will partake. I'm sorry too, Umio. We wanted to celebrate your return, but we didn't really know how to prepare anything very elaborate. I can make simple sweets, but when it comes to meals, it's not really my strong suit. It's nothing you need to apologize for, Gearsy. The gesture is more than enough for me. Thank you. Pudding. By the way, what do you two usually eat? I can't imagine there are many other things available aside for canned foods. When necessary, we do utilize our canned goods, but normally Uzume prepares meals with anything she can find out there. Granted, they're simple dishes, of course, and we generally season and heat the gathered ingredients to create our meals. Oh, you guys should have your own survival reality show or something. So have you ever eaten locusts or snakes or frogs before? Oh my gosh, like, seriously? No freaking way, Nepsy. Ew. Slimy little frog legs. Totally gross. Uzume, language. Yeah, no way in hell I eat one of those ugly bastards. He just said language and you just had like 2 curse words in there. Aw, it would have been really cool if you were able to chow down on some exotic grub like that. Oh well. Cool? Do you mean I could be cool? Neptune's a... Huh? Uzume kinda cute getting excited about being cool. Duh. I could see that during the freaking bath scene earlier. I see. So, people think you're cool if you can eat a frog. Maybe I'll try it out. I'm surprised Umio's not like butting in here, like trying to like save her. Wait, don't get tricked, Usume. Neptune, you gotta stop saying weird things like that, to people. It's not very nice. Sorry, Nepgear, I couldn't help it. Uzume, before I forget, the baby bugs gave me this as a gift for helping them. Would you like to take some? Those are shiitake mushrooms. They're delicious if you roast them on a skewer, and the sight of you I'm having a hard time saying a visceral devouring them would be quite delightful. Nuh-uh, no freaking way. I don't care what anyone says, I'm never eating those things. Dear me, your disdain for shiitake mushrooms is incredibly worrisome. You don't eat shiitake with me? I can't stand the taste or texture. It's truly a shame. They are very convenient. Shiitake mushrooms are exquisite roasted or boiled, and they perform wonderfully in soup stocks. Soup stocks? I wouldn't touch one with a 10-foot pole. If it was made out of a sheer crystals, I'm not eating them. Well, anyway, now that we're nourished, I suppose it's time to explain what has actually transpired here in this nation. Additionally, I extend my deepest gratitude to you both for saving me. Now, could you tell me just how you both happened to come to the city? So, yeah, that's why we're in a bit of a bind. I see. I'm beginning to make sense of your unique predicament. So you come here from another continent, or perhaps have buried your way out of an underground nation, or you're delusional. I could construct several different theories, but I believe the most probable is that you come from another dimension. Ah, damn it. I hate to say it, but yeah, I mean, I guess we could have managed to venture into another dimension yet again. Yet again? May I assume that you both have done this before? Journeyed to an alternate dimension, I mean? Yep, you're right on the money, my fishy friend. Man, we went through a lot of trouble to get back home last time, too. Hey, dimension hopping. Time gets all wacky. We were gone for years, but back home only a few days have passed? Ridiculous. Ah, I believe I understand now. So how will we get home, big sis? If we really in another dimension, we probably can't even contact Histoire. Chin up, Neptune. At least we know where we are now. That's pretty good. If we know where we are, all we gotta do is to find the path from here to home is. How do we figure out a path like... what a path like that would even look like? Umio, are monsters really the only one here? Only ones here? Maybe there's other people that just gone into hiding somewhere far away. Now that I think about it, did none of the CPUs from the other nations survive? Where are they? I apologize, but as far as I know, the only CPU that exists is Uzume. There used to be people here though, right? There are still traces of them left on the internet. Indeed, they existed a long time ago. Without knowledge of their existence, I would have not thought of you as humans. However, when I was born into this world, this world was already in a state of desolation and ruin. That's why I was quite surprised to meet you both. So does no one actually know why the world ended up in this condition? Uzume states the giant, as he calls it, is another reason, but it's the direct reason, but I believe there's even a greater cause. Would you take a look at this? It's some data I found, although it's a little broken. This appears to be a journal. The text is buggy here and there, but this is really quite fascinating. Umio, I'd like to investigate more about what happened to this world. My ability may not be great, but allow me to help. We may uncover information vital to the safety and preservation of this world. Thank you very much. Incidentally, Uzume has been rather quiet for some time now. He fell asleep? He appears to be in a deep sleep. This is unsurprising, considering he was already exhausted before devouring that large meal. Oh, I'm sorry for keeping you both up just to talk. I'm sure you're both very tired as well. Please, it's no trouble at all. Actually, Umio, there's something I wanted to ask you about Uzume. So I noticed Uzume's personality and speech kind of changed randomly once in a while. What the heck is that up? What the heck is up with that? She is pushing herself. Pushing herself. Originally, she was a girl with a cheerful disposition, much like when she transforms. What? Really? Bruh. Uzume, I'm sorry, but there's no possible way that you take best girl for me, but I do respect you a lot. You have a lot of my respect. I would say she's an excellent CPU though, freaking taking charge like this. Okay, a while back when I was playing, I think it was Rebirth 3 or 2, someone was talking about a yandere being in Megadimension, and I always thought that was Uzume, but now I'm not sure. You even see acted carefree. She was very earnest. I bumped my wire. She was very earnest. She may have believed that could not rely on her, that we could not rely her on this crumbling world. As she continued a life of survival and combat, her personality and speech slowly changed. To believe Uzume was like that in the past. That's why she's still hung up on the idea of being cool, huh? There must be some part of her subconscious that relates to being cool to being reliable. But one's personality is not something so easily changed. As Uzume has always been prone to daydreams, she often returns to her true self during those times. Oh yeah, I definitely noticed that. Now then, it's quite late. We can speak of what's our next steps will be in the morning. I'm sure you both are tired, so please get some rest. Yes, you're right. I'm really exhausted from fighting today. Good night, Umio. Thanks for speaking with us. Night. See you in the morning. Yes, good night, and pleasant dreams to you both. Suddenly, starting again today is Nep Station. With me, your host, Neptune. Today I'm joined by me, Uzume Tenobashi. An awesome broadcast just for you. Man, I'm glad we were able to save Umio safely. Yeah, I was able to defeat that mutt too. It must be because I'm so cool. Well, let's forget about whatever Uzume is cool or not for now. What? Since we're here, let's try acting out an episode preview thingy. Take it away, Uzume. After saving Umio, what awaited Neptune Co. was another type of hell. Greed and violence settled in after destruction. A city of Platform Zero created 100 years of war. If you throw vice, treachery, corruption, and chaos into the blender, you get the Zero Dimension. Next episode, Swirl. We'll have you fall Nepsi and us into hell. That wasn't really an episode preview in the slightest, but oh well. Bye bye. Ooh, Neptune. Junior, I want to eat pudding. Goodness, what should I do? There isn't any pudding around. And even if I wanted to make some, we don't have the ingredients. Pudding! What's going on? I could hear you guys from outside. Greetings. Nepsy is lively as usual, I see. Someone took a pic of this moment and then put in the caption. It's like, someone get that girl some pudding. It was a good ass caption. Someone on Steam. Oh, Umiyo, we have a bit of a problem. Sounds good and funny and true. Pudding! If I don't have any... Okay, let me compose myself. Pudding! If I don't have any pudding, I'll die. Pudding. And there's our problem. Ah, I understand. Unfortunately, unless we somehow make it ourselves, we won't find any. Do y'all even have a kitchen to make it in anymore? Well, they did make a fish meal. No, no, no! Pudding! Dear me, I'm finding it difficult to tell which one is actually the older sister. It may be Nepsy's influence, but now I want to try eating some pudding. Right? You want to eat pudding too, right, Uzume? That bittersweet taste of caramel sauce poured over the nice portion of cold, refreshing custard pudding. To be honest, I never had that type of pudding before. I want to have that type of pudding. Even one day without it causes this Neptune to feel all sentimental. Custard pudding, huh? But green tea pudding and chocolate pudding are great too. Maybe we can go find some ingredients, some abandoned grocery stores nearby. If they had the base for pudding, we'd be even more super ultra lucky, right? If we found some, Uzume would totes want to make yummy sweets and treat all her beautiful friends. Ooh, it's been quite a while since I made some. Has he made pudding before? How about we make a whole bunch of different kinds of puddings and have a big pootie-pa together? Oh, when I say pootie-pa, it's a sorting for pudding party. Does it sound like an ultra mega fun? So yeah, a pudding party might be kinda tight, so maybe we could try it out or whatever. You know, a beautiful part of her like spacing out like that is it's like she's being able to loosen up after this whole time. That's actually a beautiful part in my eyes. But the problem is the ingredients. You need eggs and milk, right? With the world in this state, I don't think we're gonna find either. Wait, we might actually have some eggs. Stare. Why are you staring in my direction? Hey, Nepsy, do you think we could make pudding out of fish eggs too? That sounds gross. Fish eggs? Okay, apologies if I called Uzume a he. That was a slip of the tongue. So deepest apologies. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's not like Marlin had freaking Nemo as an egg. It was Marlin's wife before she died. Fish pudding. Wow, this might be a whole new breed of pudding on our plates here. This needs to happen for science. No, it doesn't, Neptune. No, it doesn't. Just a moment, you two. I want you to calm down first. No matter how you look at it, I am a male fish. Even if you cut my stomach open, you won't find what you're looking for. Damn. Till the day I had never before thanked my parents for bringing me into this world as a male. You have your share of troubles too, don't you, Mio? Alright then, Nepsy. It's still possible there are some ingredients left somewhere. Let's go search for them. You're right. Ooh, even if we only find enough ingredients for one spoonful, it's worth it. And they're gone. That they are.
I swear on my pride as a fish, I will protect these girls.
Okay, you're...
I'm home!
I like to eat something good. And as thanks for taking care of us, we'll cook up something for you, Uzume. Whoa, really? Sweet! Craving anything in particular? Definitely gotta get some protein before I fight the giant. I'll have some meat, please. Nepgear and I will whip you up the best meat dishes we can think of. Sorry for the wait, Uzume. Here's the Salisbury steak. What's up, soup? Salisbury steak in the fucking apocalypse. That sounds badass. I've heard about how delicious they are, but this is the first time eating one. Munch, munch, munch. This is great. It's super delicious. Glad you like it. Next is my dish. It's a special Nep style katsu bowl. Holy cow, this is the katsu bowl of my freaking dreams. Wow, this is such a great blend of egg and Wait a minute. If you were having eggs over here. I didn't know you were such a genius in the kitchen, Nepsy. Ah, you're making me blush. You did the same thing I did. It was worth having Nepgear teach me how to make, even though there was quite a bit of trial and error. There was trial and error! I guess I can taste it, have the seasoning, some minor tweaks, but it's still... We could use some minor tweaks, but it's still delicious. I feel like if I ate this tomorrow, I have the strength to take on that giant. Take out that giant. Nepsy, please, recreate this dish for me tomorrow. About that. What's wrong? The fact of the matter is, actually, we used up all our supplies to make these. Everything else ended up as black suit. Miraculously, these two came out editable.
The name's Uzume Tenoboshi. Yeah, it's pretty badass. I know.
I'm tired.
Uzume kinda needs to teach them on how to live in a freaking apocalypse. Nep Jr., I found some eggs! Huh? I've got milk and sugar too. I think we're all set now. What? You two at Uzume? There were actually some monster peddlers nearby who just opened up a shop. Not only that, but everything here is 100% organic and fresh. This feels just a little too convenient. Well, as long as we have food we can eat, I think anything is fine. Anything's fine at this point. I'll start whipping up this pudding right away, Gearsy. Yeah. I'll just hang out with you while they work their magic, Umio. Considering we never had a chance to sit and talk together, this may be the perfect opportunity to deepen our friendship. Where's that coming from? Sincerest apologies, Nepsy. It appears to be a call from one of my friends. Please excuse me for a moment. There he goes. Now I got nothing to do while I'm waiting for pudding. Oh well, they say hunger is the best ingredient. I think I'll take a walk and get my blood flowing. Romeo looks like he'd grow legs as he matured and eventually become a frog, but how is he in reality? I don't know what you're on, but that can't possibly be true. He's a damn fish. You're right. That'd be ridiculous. Umio, what's with that body? What are those creepy legs? What the fuck? You're being quite rude, Nepsi. Look how beautiful these legs are. La la la, la 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 la. Legs. His legs. Please, anything but those legs. The freaking angel dude from Love Tyrant that remember a character earlier I was talking about a character taking a body of a cat for most of the anime? But the angel character from Love Tyrant, he reminds me a lot of Umio. That character that took the body of a cat. Umio is significantly different from it, but looks like they were having the same dream, but what do they mean by his legs?
If it's a fight, then go ahead and rely on me.
Hey, wait, I got 8,000 now. Umio only items have been added.
It fits me well, does it not?
I need to make more money. Neptune, the pudding's done. Sorry about that, Nepsi. We made way too much, so it took quite a while. There's no such thing as too much. Whoa! Why are there baby bugs? Oh, good job, you two. Thank you for the hard work. Oh, it's Miss Uzume. What's going on here? I had some time to kill before you guys were done, so I took a walk around and ran into these baby bugs. I thought eating delicious sweets together with everyone makes them even more scrumptious, so I invited them over. Nice idea, Nepsi! We used all the ingredients we bought, and we made way too much. Now I'm really hungry too. I can't wait for the pudding. I'll boil us some tea then. Our surroundings may be decrepit, but let's treat ourselves to a tea party. Oof, I'm so stuffed. I just can't get started up unless I have a pudding a day. You really do love your pudding, don't you? Tea you made for us was really delicious, Umio. What kind of tea is this? thank you. It's my original blend. I'm a bit of a hobbyist when it comes to tea. I can give you some of this blend if you like. Really? Thank you. Looks aside, you really are a gentleman, Umio. Well, I don't know. What about the Ultra Dimension Whiteheart? So he does have the freaking copy pasta making tea for her. I think he's pretty handsome on the outside too, you know? That's right, Uzume had that sort of style sense. I love how in the Ultra Dimension, Loey is basically an Oriental country. It was actually cool to see. Now that our tea party's winding down, I would like to have a meeting discussing our future strategies if you are all willing. I don't mind. I'm super down. My motivation gauge is at the max now that my belly's full of pudding. At the very least, get through all the rebirth games. I know the Vita has all the rebirth games, and some of the side Neptunia games. I'm super down. My motivation gauge is max now that my belly's full of pudding. Well, let's jump in immediately. I just received a call informing me of a place where shared crystals may be located. We used up a lot from our previous fights, so it'll be great for me to restock my supply. If you played the one that was on the PS4 and PS5, that would be the remake of the first Rebirth game. Second one would be Nepgear's game, which kind of felt a little hollow compared to the first and third game. But it was still good in its own right. And then the third game, in my opinion, is the best Rebirth game. Which would be Pludia's game. Yep. We used up a lot from our previous fight, so it'd be great for me to restock my supply. Furthermore, we can surmise that there is a large supply of Sare crystals at this location. We might even be able to execute our plan. Indeed, as long as we have the necessary Sare crystals, our preparations will be complete. Which means we can finally... Hey, so what's this plan you guys talking about? It'd be nice if you let me and Nepgear in on this stuff so we can understand. Oh, right, my bad. To explain it simply, it's a plan to defeat that colossal you already seen. Colossus. What? You have a way to defeat that giant thing? After repeated battles with it, I came to realize that it's weak to share energy. However, because of its size, even if you strike it with Sare energy on a single point, it has a little effect. This is why we're attempting to contain it by creating a special barrier that uses a huge amount of Sare crystals. Kind of like in the anime with the little red star crystal thingies. Holy moly, that's a pretty crazy plan. With that, even a giant would be clobbered. Yep, that's the idea anyway. Let's hurry and get those crystals. What? Sakura trees! Okay, but give me a quick second though, because I have to go to the bathroom.
I wonder where the party's at. I wonder where the party's at. I wonder where the party's at. Nip, 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 nip. I wonder where the party's at. the party's at. Where should we go? I wonder where the party's at. Nip, 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 nip. Nip, 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 nip.
Alright. I'm good.
Where should we go?
Thank you, thank you. I was thinking the real map in this one wasn't, well shit. I didn't think it would do this shit like that.
Pudding, pudding.
She didn't talk too much, did she? In previous games, I usually leave it in the room like... Usually leave it in something like this. Like pick a CG art and then like put it on a BRB. Ah.
Can't we just hang out here? I choose you.
You're my opponent? Ha!
What shall I do? Yeah, I've got you. I
What
apologize.
should I do?
Warning!
Strike.
My mission
Easy peasy.
failed.
Woohoo!
Alright.
What a lively party.
Indeed.
Hey, 2 of you. 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 2 of just hang out here? Full speed!
Huh? So there are share crystals hiding even in a place like this? Wow, I can't believe such a beautiful place still exists in this world. You must realize that this place is this way because this is where the share crystals reside. Why is that? The land of this nation and this world are almost completely lifeless. I personally believe that the dead land directly correlates to the fact that the amount of the CPU's protecting power has greatly diminished. The sole reason game industry exists is due to the protective powers of the CPUs. That's just like my nation too, Planetune. Can't do anything without me around. However, according to the ancient text, it said that the source of the CPU's powers is actually the faith of its people. If this world bears no human population, CPUs can no longer manifest their power. My theory is that these share crystals scattered across the lands are crystallizations of the faith of all those who used to exist here. What if they're actually what if they're like philosopher stones? They're actually people inside the crystals. They didn't disappear, they turned into share crystals. I suppose that CPUs and their people create the nations by developing a relationship that's mutually supportive. It was the same in the game industry of another dimension we explored before. That means no matter what dimension we're in, game industry will usually operate in the same way. Well, that makes my job explaining it much easier. My recent investigations have found this is the only nation which still exists. There's literally nothing beyond the mountains and oceans. So it was true after all. No effing way. So that means that we're seriously in the end of the world situation? End of the world is quaint in comparison. Let us return to our previous topic. So although Uzume is a CPU, this nation is still slowly perishing. Any ideas why that is? No? Considering Uzume's remains dependent on a steady supply of share crystals, I believe this world has not accepted her as its CPU. What? In a world without CPUs, this place may no longer even be game industry. What do you think will happen to this world if this very last nation falls into ruin? It would disappear, wouldn't it? If we ventured to give a name to this shell of a game industry, you could perhaps call it the Zero Dimension. I'm not giving up. Even if this world doesn't accept me, everyone else here looks up to me as a CPU. I'm sticking it out until the very end. Back to the topic on hand. The beauty and abundance of this place is due to the share crystal energy feeding the entire forest. This happens every time the nature abundance in the area is proof of immense power held within these terror crystals. And like this is a huge force, right? That means there has to be a big enough share crystal power at work here. But if we take all the share crystals we find here, won't the forest wither and die? Correct. Areas like these are quite precious, however, so we try not to remove all the crystals. Ooh, that's good. That means we can come back on the field and on a field trip and look at all the pretty flowers. Neptune, Umio was discussing a fairly grave topic with us, and that's what you decided to contribute to this conversation? Hey, Nepgear is a legitimate worry. Freaking cherry trees are badass. Nep Jr., don't you get it? Everybody needs a little normal. Thank you for hanging out, Liz. Enjoy your bath. Nep Jr., don't you get it? Everybody needs a little normalcy in the crazy times like these. Those everyday pleasures are so important. Wow. Normalcy. You're so right. Once we finish all this, we're coming here just staring at the flowers would be so beautiful. We could throw a huge party and invite the baby bugs and everyone else. That does sound really nice. I could even make a whole bunch of pudding like I did today. I'll help out too. I want to try making different flavors. How long has it been since I've seen a happy expression on Uzume? If it were possible, I'd wish for her to always have such a smile on her face. Whoa.
Start to finish,
Now then,
I'm
what
always
shall I
at the
do?
climax.
I've got you.
I'll nip you all up. Buster!
My turn.
Easy.
Failed.
Leave this to me.
What? What? Ha, you think I was Nepgear?
You're so damn lame.
You want a funny face?
It is my turn. It was merely chance. Not bad.
Surprise attack isn't fair.
Now then, what shall I do? How is this?
What should I do? Buster!
I'm a force of fury. You're so damn lame.
Yeah! It's my turn. Did you do something? What should I do? Buster! Order up! Woohoo! Yay! I leveled up! finish.
It is my
I'm
turn.
always at the climax.
Yeah. Haha.
My turn.
Warning.
Buster.
Point of that
It's
mission
all
turn.
over.
failed. Warning. Mission
Alright, defeated.
failed.
Next. It doesn't hurt. Smile.
Now then, what shall I do? Yeah.
Warning.
I
Mission
apologize.
failed.
Don't look down upon Fishman. I feel strength overflowing.
So majestic. Unique ability as acquired at tea time.
We'll beat you to
Now
a
then,
pulp.
what shall I do?
My turn.
I'll end this all.
You want a funny face? It
It
doesn't
is
hurt.
my turn. Yeah, I've got you.
Leave this to me. Yay! Yay, we won!
This doesn't even count as an injury. We got the first strike. Let's
Now
crush
then,
him.
what shall I do? You won't escape.
I'll nip you all up.
I'm a force of fury.
It's my turn. Stay down, please. Can you do something?
Not bad. There.
I'll nip you all up.
Now, who to choose? You're so damn lame.
Want a funny face? Stay down. I did it.
Now then, what shall I do? Yeah. Haha.
I've been waiting. One strike.
Now, who to choose? Don't underestimate me. Don't mess with me.
Leave this to me. Yay! It looks like we've won.
I can show you how cool I am when I'm fully healed, you know?
Well, I kind of think it still doesn't do like an AoE heal outside of battle.
Not bad.
Surprise attack isn't fair.
Okay. Now then, what shall I do? One mustn't push oneself.
To me?
Now, who to choose?
poison.
Now, who to choose? Oh, brave your burden! You were such a pain. Looks like we win this match.
Thank you for worrying about someone like me. This much of a scratch is nothing.
Hey yo, Uzume, it's been a while. Oh hey, it's you, Goobs. Yeah, it's been a while. What? Is this Dogu also an acquaintance of yours, Uzume? Yeah, Goobs is one of my allies here. He may not look like it, but old Goobs here is the head of a Dogu tribe. Well, guess you can't judge the Dogu by its cover. Come here, Goobs, you little rascal. Oh, dear, dear. Who's a good Dogu? Goo. This girl really knows her way around. So what's up, Goobs? What you doing there out here? We were finally some help to you, Uzume. We're the ones who found the crystals. I should have known it was you. Thanks, Goobs. You really outdid yourself. These monsters seem to really get attached to you, Uzume. Not doing anything special, really. These guys get all friendly on their own. By the way, my other friends are also out there searching for more crystals right now. Better go look for those too. I don't want these guys running into any trouble on my behalf. It's no trouble we like to be relied on. And truthfully, it wouldn't hurt if you acted more like a CPU and took a little more control. Even if you put it like that, it's just not my thing, Goobs. You know that. Yeah, I feel you, Uzume. You're a lot like me. You don't have time to be bossing everyone around. You can't sit still. That's kind of true. I'd rather be in the front lines of everyone too. We're gonna go search over there, over that way. So if you find anything, just call us. Understood, Goo. Let's head out. R4. Wait, what the fuck is R4 doing in Zero Dimension R4? Was he successful in destroying this game industry? Is that how he did it?
I will prevail for the pride of fish everywhere.
For the pride of fish everywhere.
I'll leave it to you.
Here we go! Here we go! Okay, okay.
I'll nip you all up.
Ow!
My turn.
Ow!
Don't mess with me.
It's my turn. Here I go.
Now then, what shall I do?
I'll nip you all up.
Okay, okay.
Not bad.
Ow!
You're so damn lame.
those paper dudes, those paper airplane dudes are kind of hard.
I'll nip you all up.
It is my turn. You won't escape.
I'll nip you all up. Chip buster.
I'll end this all. You're so damn lame.
Smile. Yeah. Stay down, please.
It is my turn. I'll leave it to you.
My turn. Here. One strike.
I'll end this all.
You want a funny face? There. Stay down, please.
It is my turn. Ha-ha! I've got you.
I'll nip you all up. Later. Total victory. Ugh, it's starting to get pretty bad.
Gee.
I can show you how cool I am when I'm fully healed, you know?
You wish to battle me.
Oh!
My prized scales are a mess. One mustn't push
Thanks
oneself.
for that.
An important item to me?
My turn.
It's my turn. Ha! This'll do it. Ha! I've been waiting. Chip buster.
My turn.
Not bad.
Smile.
My prized scales are a mess. How is it?
Thanks a bunch. What should I do?
Now then, what shall I do? I'll leave it to you.
My turn. You're so damn lame.
It's my turn.
I
I'll nip
apologize.
you all up. You need this
I'll
more
revive
than I
as
do.
many
My
times
turn.
as needed for Uzo.
Alright, defeated. Next! Looks like we win this match.
Bug thingies are scary.
La, la, la.
Whatever the fuck they are, monster demon bug thingies.
Tuh, 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 tuh. Tuh, tuh. Not bad.
I'm still fine, right?
I can't find nothing. Gearsy, any luck over there? There doesn't seem to be anything over here. How about you, Nepsy? No more. I'm tired. I can't take another step. Looks like no luck there either. Uzume, Nepsy seems tuckered out. Why don't we rest here for a while? Yeah, you're right. We still have quite a long way to go, so we should... Goo! Goo! What's up, Goobs? You're in a big hurry. We found a share crystal, Goo. Come with me and check it out. Really? How big is it? It's bigger than we ever seen before. Hell yeah! Aw man, it's been so long. We're gonna finally defeat that giant. This is great, Uzume, but I'm a little jealous. Jealous of the share crystal? You can use share crystal to replenish your share energy, but it's not possible for us. If we had share energy too, we could have helped you out more. Don't worry about it. You already back from your bowl battle? What the heck? Don't worry about it, really. You're already a huge help as it is. Did you enjoy your bath, Luz? I personally would like to witness all three of you lined up and transformed. I got you. Personally would like to witness all three of you lined up and transformed. Oh man, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? It'd be something like a Sentai Ranger show. Hey Nepsy, Gearsy, it's worth a shot. Want to try using a share crystals? We wouldn't have problems if we could use those to transform. It sucks, but it looks like we can't get shares from those crystals. Well, shit. How about eating them? Eating it? They're fucking rocks! Up the butt? I mean, it's another way of taking medicines, but I wouldn't say share crystal would be a medicine. Eating it? No, no, no. Share crystals are way too hard. There's no way it could be chomped on. What about if we crush them up in powder? Then you can mix it up with the pudding. Oh, that sounds delicious already. What? That's what you agree to? I think that may be a bit of a stretch for you two. Then maybe Umio and the others could try their hardest to make shares. Don't you think it'd be cool if we borrowed strength from our friends to all go HDD at once like a cool anime show? You'll totally do it, huh? Oh, I'd so totally want to transform and fight all awesomely with you two. If you wish for it, I believe it's possible. Huh? What do you mean by... Also, your speech is slipping. Well, yeah, it's... If it's not possible, then screw it. Anyway, right now, what we gotta do is go after that share crystal. R4. Those brats are planning something. Freaking R4 is here too.
You let your guard down.
I wonder if this R4 is like, was this R4 successful destroying the game industry?
How is this?
I've been waiting.
I'm a force of fury.
That it will.
Who wants a funny face?
Not bad.
When you have virus, it will display on the status bar on screen. You can use the truffle meal to hear the virus effect. The virus still remain.
Not bad.
One strike.
I'm a force of fury. You're in the way.
Leave this to me.
It is my turn.
Use a rubber next time.
You won't escape. Haha.
You're not half
Mix
bad.
you all up.
I do? I'll leave it to you.
Smile. I did it! I'm a mess.
Yeah! Level up! I can show you how cool I am when I'm fully healed, you know?
I'm gonna make funny faces at these
Now then,
monsters, okay?
What shall I do?
God damn.
Yeah. Haha.
I'll nip you all up.
I'll end this all. You're 10 years too early.
Okay, okay. Here we go.
It doesn't hurt?
Not
I'll
bad.
nip you all up.
What's with these guys riding on the paper airplanes? Here we go. Okay.
You need this
I'll
more than
revive
I
as
do.
many times as
Now,
needed
who
for
to
Uzume's
choose?
sake.
You're so damn lame.
Here we go.
What's a funny face?
Prized scales are a mess. Yeah. I'll leave it to you.
I've been waiting.
Now, who to choose?
The airplane motherfuckers are tough as fuck.
You're 10 years too early. I finished this stylishly.
I feel strength.
I'm mostly sketched out from them, and then also the freaking mutant bugs. I see one over in the distance.
This might be bad. Even for me.
Oh, shoot.
Did you do something?
No problem.
Targets confirmed.
That's enough. Now then, what shall I do? I'll leave it to you. I
I've
apologize.
been waiting.
My turn. You're so damn lame. Alright, defeated.
Yay, got one!
Failed.
It kind of feels like this.
It looks like we
I'm still
won.
thinking about what happened to this dimension, but it's kind of pointing towards R4 actually was successful. That would explain all the robots and shit, cause he liked. I know he liked making robots in the other, at least in the first two Rebirth games.
Not bad. Not bad.
In the first Rebirth games, he was even teamed up with someone that would made robotic monsters. I mean, there's these demon bug things that are out and about, and then
1-1.
This isn't good.
the busty blonde lover.
fury.
You want a funny face?
It is my turn.
I'm meaning the ones that were doing like machine gun attacks, they're not really like ones to be afraid of, but the other ones are more bulky. I'm just talking about the robots in general. There's a lot more robot enemies in this game, and they seem more well built in the other games.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, normal robots were in this dimension, at least.
I'm a force of fury. Don't underestimate me.
You want a funny face?
Ow!
Now then, what shall I do?
What should I do?
I'll end this all. Brave your burden. You were such a pain. How's that? Was it cool?
My favorite thing is that I don't even, like, I'm just, like, grasping at straws here. So I'm glad that I'm left guessing. Trying to use what I know from the other games and from what the other
Sorry,
stuff in the
did you
series.
yell me? I can show you how cool I am when I'm fully healed, you know?
Hey everyone! I brought Uzume with me.
Goobs, you have even more a kick-ass voice than I thought you did.
I hear you guys found this place especially for me. I couldn't thank you enough.
Oh, it's Miss Uzume. Ooh.
I just want to do this real quick because I don't think I'll ever get a chance to. Boom.
Miss Uzume is here.
We've been waiting, Miss Uzume.
Miss Uzume thanked us, Goo. I'm so happy.
What the snap? There are so many doggoos. And they're speaking all friendly-like, too.
And they all each have a name. Oh, except this one. Yep, from One Piece. I mean, mixing my favorite game series and my favorite anime series into one emote. That's what I figured would be best at. I don't remember any of the past Rebirth games, but have you ever seen a doggo with a crown on it? You see my Discord profile? You joined my Discord without knowing? Without me knowing? Oh. Welcome to the Discord. I didn't hear the being, so welcome to the Discord. Yeah, I know in Dragon Quest, what's it called? The slimes, some of them are king slimes when they, like, all come together. It's funny, one of Plutia's weapons, you know, outside HDD, she uses those plushies. But one of the plushies you can get for her is a doggo with abs.
Oh gosh. Seeing them warm up to Uzume like this is gonna make it a lot harder to fight them back home.
So, my friends, where's this share crystal that you discovered?
It's right over here, Goo. Please take a look.
Okay, by character you mean he actually had like a story part, right? Because I would actually want to see that.
Oh man, you guys weren't playing around. This is definitely a share crystal.
Its size is remarkable. Uzume, we can finally proceed.
I know, I can feel it. The amount of share energy crystallized in this thing is amazing. Everyone, thank you so much. With this, I'll finally defeat the giant.
But why bother? Please, allow me to put an immediate end to your delusions.
Oh, fuck.
What's going on?
Is he called dark purple here?
No way! Why did it show up now of all times?
Is it targeting Uzume or the share crystal?
Doesn't matter. Little do these idiots know, this actually is gonna work out in my favor.
Uzume's like, good, now I don't have to chase you down.
I'll crush the giant, here and now! Nepsy, Gearsy, lend me a hand!
Leave it to us.
Yeah!
Hey, you big idiot! This ends today! I've crafted this technique especially to defeat you! Prepare to die!
Well, I can't have you do that now, can I?
What?
God damn, R4.
It can't be. How can this be possible?
Are you friggin' kidding me? Come on! Dang it! Who's out there? We literally just found that thing.
You've earned it, brat.
Who the hell are you?
I suppose this is the first time we've met like this. Very well, then. I will tell you.
But
I am called R4. Along with the Dark CPU, I am the one who will bring about the end of you and your world.
I mean, I love that she has her witch's hat back. That scarf thing. That scarf thing is too bulky.
Oh, I see you have heard of my power.
She an acquaintance or what?
Honestly, she's like one of those annoying relatives you don't like too much because she's always criticizing or picking fights with you.
Kind of like an annoying aunt.
Ahem. Let me explain to those in the audience new to the series.
I like in the anime she calls R4 like R4D R4 or something like that.
We've fought this Herald boss lady character called R4 like a billion times in the older games and anime releases. She's so boring. I seriously don't even want to look at our Snore right now. She's not about to make us enter a boss fight, is she? Ugh, I'm so over it.
Big sis, maybe you should be less meta in explaining it so the players get a more immersive, believable experience. But in our world, R4 should have perished. And in the other dimension, I thought she had reformed completely.
In Rebirth 1, she did reform completely. Rebirth 2, she died. Rebirth 3, the Ultra Dimension R4, I think that's what's the one she was meaning that reform completely.
Which means that this R4 must be different from the ones we've seen.
This one's probably from this dimension and she actually was successful. That's what I'm thinking.
It seems like you brainiacs were hatching a fairly thoughtful scheme with that crystal. It's too bad. Now, Dark CPU, annihilate every last one of these insolent brats!
Hold the flip phone! This kind of map-wide weapon is a rule violation! Where's your sense of sportsmanship?
Prattle on all you like. Your end is nearing by the second. No need to hold back, Dark Purple. Thoroughly grind them into dust.
Help me!
Goobs, no!
Damn it!
Goobs!
Only I had the strength to deploy. If I had more power, I could destroy it. But even if I can't win, at the very least, Nepsy and the others. Hey, Nepsy and Gearsy, take Goobs and everyone else and run!
Uzume, what are you talking about?
I'm the only one it's after. I'll be the distraction while you get everyone out of here.
No, I don't wanna. I'm not leaving you behind, Uzume.
This is my fight. This doesn't even concern you. I got you all involved in my fight. My problem. I can't let you die because of that.
Well, we don't want you to die either. And now that we're friends, this does concern us. Consider us involved.
The Dagu man and the Dagu female. Yes.
I feel the same way as Neptune. I know we just met, but I could never abandon a friend in need.
Hey, come on. The way you two are talking makes it sound like I won't make it.
You're worried about it though, right? The share crystal's broken. You have no power. You look totally desperate.
Makes me think of something. If you know a little bit about Pokemon, look up a Diglett with a body. Or Doug Trio.
What?
Oh, jeez. With a face like that, it's even more impossible for us to leave you behind.
But we don't have enough share crystals to even think about flipping this situation around. Our plan failed completely.
Don't sweat it, pal. We don't even need those crystals. We're gonna beat this thing up the old-fashioned way.
Neptune, what do you mean by that? No way. This is share energy? I feel power flowing through me.
Okay, how though?
What is this? Huh? Could it be?
How? The doggos!
It's over, Goo. We're so dead. Don't give up, Goo. Uzume, she's gonna definitely do something big.
That's right! She always managed to come out on top before, and today we have 2 more friends helping her. Ooh.
Is it you guys?
They're producing share energy!
I understand now. The faith of the Dogus is flowing into us as share energy.
Yes, that's it.
What's this?
But aren't the Dogus monsters? How can this be? It's never happened before.
Let's not sweat the small stuff like logic or plot development. Let's just beat this fool up. Let's go, little Nep.
Yeah!
Keep your eyes on us, please.
Transformation movie!
We'll show you the true power of a CPU.
Yes! That was good. Oh, fuck.
What are these forms of yours?
CPU Purple Heart, I have arrived.
I'm Purple Sister Nepgear. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a CPU candidate.
You twerps were CPUs?
What was that? Was that a memory? But why would I see that now, of all times? Whatever, it doesn't matter right now. If we have the share energy, then there's only one thing to do. Goobs, we'll put your wishes to good use. Transform!
And then, shearing field activate. Shearing field activate!
What? What the hell is going on?
This field. This is incredible. What is this power?
The plan is a huge success. We captured it within the field.
I knew you told us we could contain it, but I didn't expect this space to be created. Is this due to the power of the share energy?
It's like we're fighting it in a whole different galaxy. Created by the share energy Uzume.
This is a subdimension created by Uzume's ability, which uses share energy as a medium.
He can create many universes?
Uzume's ability?
What is this field? Why can't I gather my strength?
Sit down and shut that old lady mouth of yours up! We're totally gonna beat up this silly giant you're so proud of! Okay, here we go. The first and final, real and true fight!
Giant battles. Why would dark CPUs or giant battles that differ from regular battle? Giant battles occur in special space called the sharing field. You cannot use normal combat attacks against giant enemies. You will have to use battle using skills. There are some skills that cannot be used during battles. Within the sharing field, you will recover SP every turn. Watch your SP consumption and recover carefully during these battles. In addition to the floating islands are your footholds within the sharing field. If you move to the edge of each island, you can jump to the nearby island using the A button. Take advantage on jumping when you want to avoid multiple characters getting hit at once or to get them for recovery. Fight effectively by moving the characters and taking advantage of the formation skills. They're formidable foes, so do your best.
Picking a fight with Uzume, okay?
Do my best. I'll do my best.
Leave this to me.
Let's get fighting!
That hurts! So tired. I'll go full power! There!
I guess we have to do this.
Okay, I get it, I think. Each part is one zone the battle can attack on.
It is my turn.
So they were on, because they were on all four on the same island, they all got hit.
How is it?
I'm grateful.
I won't hold back.
Who's my opponent?
I'm feeling like Gurren Lagann vibes. Or Evangelion vibes. Like how in the series they keep finding something bigger and bigger.
Cross combination.
Ta-da! Uzumi's turn! I'll go full power! There!
Now then, what shall I do? This is also a tactic.
I no longer have doubts. MPBL! Target locked!
Leave this to me.
I feel like I cannot use him. Like I already love him as a character, he's too cool.
Cross combination.
Mainly because he reminds me of the anime character I was talking about earlier.
Can't go on.
Also in this one, I feel like I'll be switching out characters a lot throughout the story. Oh crap, that's not enough.
Please stop!
Not yet.
This isn't good.
I can't.
Fuck.
Not bad.
I shouldn't push myself too much. I'll use an item.
My turn. This one.
It is my turn.
I'm gonna use this fish dude to save Uzume. If he
use this.
You're never gonna keep me down.
My turn.
They're so dead next turn. I can't do anything about it. I know! They're fucking destroying me.
Cross combination.
You're not half bad.
Let's end this.
I can't.
How's this?
I'm saved!
I'm trying to decide which one to do though.
Please take care
More
of
ethical probably be switching out.
I'll try my best.
C may be level 9, but he's still a DLC character.
Leave this to me. Cross combination.
You want a funny face? Whoa! I did it!
Dark purple is beat by Nepugia.
I was going to die.
That was actually a really cool fight. Like it brought kind of like hype to like a Sonic fight, but like in a less stupid way. The speaking volumes.
As a CPU, I must become stronger.
Maybe more hype, yeah.
Yay! I leveled up! Did we do it?
Since Uzume and Umio was knocked out in the battle, they don't get EXP, right?
Yes, we've defeated that monstrosity.
We did it! We did it! We won against that giant! Thank you. Thank you so much, Neptune and Gearsy.
There's no need to thank us. It's not over yet.
Huh?
R4's still here, right?
They would have while being in a boss, so I would say 0 XP, yeah. Oh no, that's definitely not worth. I mean, I could like I don't mind grinding at all. Freaking in the past games, I grinded till every character was 999.
Oh, that's right! That old lady appeared so fast, I completely forgot!
To think that the Dark CPU could possibly lose to idiots like you!
I mean, for some reason, for at least in this game, it's not really a tedious task of grinding to me. It's just calming.
Now then, whatever shall we do?
Perhaps we should place the old lady in captivity and interrogate her.
And plus, the DLCs make it easier to grind to max.
You want to capture me? Ha! What could you possibly do to me in your current state?
Without doing it the easy way. I can only imagine what this guy, how this guy is.
Yeah, whatever. We have more people than you.
How aggravating. I will have to withdraw for the time being.
You're running away?
Enjoy what little time you have left until the next time we cross paths.
She got away.
It would appear so, but honestly, we were not ready to take her on.
God damn, this guy is a number crunching game.
I'm so worn out. My legs feel like noodles.
Mine too. I'd be pretty happy if I didn't have to fight again for a while.
Ooh, same here. Still, it's kind of a shame.
A shame? You mean that our fortress escaped?
Nope. I just thought that it'd be great to drink some cold juice since we're so worn out, but we don't have any, so yeah, it's a total shame.
Oh damn.
Then once we get back to base, we can have a toast together.
I could see that.
Although, I think I just need to sit here for a little while. I can barely move.
Have you seen an anime called Komi? Komi can't communicate? There's a character in that anime that has a similar hairstyle, but I forgot their name. Well, similar in color. The shape of the hair is not Nep's. Well, that didn't work out.
Alright! Are you okay, Uzume? Why are you screaming?
At last! I finally put that giant 6 feet under! How can I contain that excitement?
I love how Pluya's eyes are like they're not really like red yet, but they're like going into red, like a pinkish red. That's my color for eyes. That's how I would say that's my favorite eye color.
Uzume, although I truly understand your sentiments, I would appreciate if you'd refrain from yelling right into my ear.
Oh, he has ears even though he's a fish. I wonder where he's hiding them.
And it's all because you two stayed here by my side, fighting the good fight. I want to thank you formally, so thank you. Man, all I keep doing is giving thanks. Whew, I can't really walk anymore either. Hell, I can't even stand.
You've worked so very hard. By all means, rest. You've earned it.
So I assume there's dark green, dark black, dark white. You know his eyes. Last name or where? Last name or who you talking about? Where from?
It's starting to get pretty bad.
Oh, Future Diary. Let me pull her up real quick. No, more red. Like Yuno's eyes aren't. It's like her eyes is starting on that path, but like not really